Hello, friends. Welcome back to Sunday Shenanigans with me, your host, Trevor Stewart 1308, and we are here with the Peanut Gallery and the ASOC Prod Cat. Hi, guys. Good to have both of you on. It's been a week since we've done that, hasn't it? Or longer, actually. It's been 2 weeks. Last week on Sunday, we went to the Maple Festival. Which, that video is up on YouTube and was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was.
And I got myself a nice little bit of lockpick bait. Local pure maple syrup from up in the Blue Ridge Mountains. So, just to see if I could catch Lockpick's attention. And it did. It did. So, all right, well, let's start with today's ad read. Today's pre-rolls brought to you by The Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, 105 West Main Street, on the downtown mall, above the bricks, Suite 200. Great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds. A bud, and the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. Also, they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personally highly biased research, by which I mean I was incredibly high when I did my personally biased research. You can find them on Instagram at The Hidden Leaf, where you can find our other two sponsors, Kush Gang Snacks, purveyors of fine edibles and drinkables, findable at Kush Gang, at KG Snacks 434 on Instagram, and Firehouse Organics, spelled with a Z, findable on Instagram at Firehouse Organics, spelled with a Z. Well, all right. So that's the ad read. We have got something to talk about before we get into playing along with NPR's Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me today. There has been something fun in the news recently, as opposed to, and in addition to, all of the incredibly depressing and upsetting things in the news. The fun thing in the news is that the police department, what is it, in Ohio or something?
Yeah.
The police department in Ohio that busted Afro Man, and then, he made a song using used his footage from his cameras.
He made several songs.
Yeah. Poking fun at the cops for their botched job of a raid. And they sued him. Now, the thing is, first off, he didn't use any of their footage. He only used footage he owned. Second thing is, they are public figures choosing to sue another public figure for defamation slander. Now, the big news is this legal suit fell flat on its face and got dismissed. This did not happen. This did not work. They could not sue him for this.
Well,
there are several reasons.
It wasn't dismissed. Because it did go to a jury trial.
Oh, okay.
They actually that they did not have as many of the police officers that originally filed. There were several that dropped out, but they still went to trial with seven people that were filing against
Plaintiffs.
him, and they had a jury trial, and the jury
Yeah, they were.
the jury took 3 hours to come back with their verdict.
3 hours.
Only 3 hours.
3 hours is not long in jury time.
No, it was long enough to go back, sit, and laugh their tails off over the lunacy that the case was, introduce each other, and then come back out and say, nah.
So, this case had very little actual legal standing. For one...
You're missing a couple of key points.
What's that?
Well,
Sorry.
one of the officers in part of the filing was claiming that he ruined his marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And in response, the only witness that the defendant brought forward was that officer's ex-wife.
Yes.
Before we get into that, let's start with explaining how much of an uphill battle the police actually legally had here. This kind of suit, especially, like, if you're a private person, if you do not have any public-facing, persona, if you don't deal with the public, if you're not on video, if you're not, then it's a bit easier to claim defamation or slander.
Mm-hmm.
These are police officers, which makes them very public. They are public figures, even though they're not, big public figures like politicians or celebrities or journalists. These are still public figures.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, they're public figures. They're trying to prove that he has said or done something untrue, said something untrue about them that ruins their image. You have to both prove the lack of veracity of the statement, and you have to prove that the statement, the lie, was told with ill intent, with the intent to actually damage someone's reputation. Proving the ill intent is the hardest part.
That's if you're going specifically for defamation with malice. Which
Fair
they
enough.
did, because they were stupid.
Right.
Regular defamation is basically saying things that...
You still have to prove that what was said was untrue in regular
prove
defamation.
that you have to prove that the person that said it knew it was untrue when they broadcast it.
Yes.
If you are sharing gossip and you think it is true...
You're actually kind of covered.
Yeah.
Which
but-
means that they could prove that Alex Jones knew he was lying when he said all that stuff he said.
Oh, yeah. But that's a whole nother can of worms.
That is a whole nother can of worms. This is... I've heard something on NPR recently talking about this, the Afro Man situation, and saying, these kinds of suits rarely work out for the people who bring them. You really have to have all of your ducks in an absolute row, and you've got to be 100% right. Otherwise, you're just embarrassing yourself in public further.
Mm-hmm.
And that's essentially what has happened.
God, yes.
So back to what you were saying, Peanut Gallery. What was the other thing that you were saying?
As I said, one of the things that one of the officers brought forth as part of their suit was claiming that Afro Man had ruined his marriage, whether it was cheating on his wife cheating on him with him or something like that. I'm not entirely certain, but the one and only witness that Afro Man brought as defense was this officer's ex-wife.
It's like, I didn't ruin your relationship. You ruined your relationship.
Yep. Yes.
So that's
You know,
the...
you've got a defamation lawsuit, and you look at the other side's witness list of who they're proposing to bring.
Yeah.
And you see your ex's name on it. It's like, that's got to be a sinking feeling.
That's got to be a moment of, man, did I really want to do this?
Yeah.
And you go, no, I didn't, but now I'm stuck, aren't I?
And this is in addition to the fact that then I forget which officer it was. Did you hear about the missing money?
Nah.
All right. When they raided his house because someone had given them a tip that he had a basement dungeon and he was holding someone down there prisoner. So they raided the house, found no basement,
Found no prisoner.
and then found no prisoner, found no basement, found a little bit of weed and a stash of cash that he had in a coat pocket, and they took his cash. Now, they bagged it into evidence, but they only had one officer count it. He did not seal the evidence bag after writing the amount on the outside. And then when he made a fuss and he finally got his stuff back, his cash was $400 short.
Oh, not a good look. Not a good look.
So the one officer that they had on the stand that had done the counting of the cash, his lawyer brought up how his brother is someone he doesn't associate with because of a misdemeanor. So they opened the door to that question, and when Afro Man's defense got up to cross, they want to know, what was that misdemeanor that he was convicted of? Why are you not talking to him anymore? Because he was convicted of taking cash from traffic stops.
Oh, this ain't a good look. Oh, this ain't a good look.
So while they filed the
cash
suit, while they managed...
from traffic stops is only a misdemeanor?
I mean, it's Ohio, and it was a cop, so yeah. That's what they got it pled down to. But
I have opinions about that, but okay.
Oh, so do I. But
which reminds me, I forgot to give the disclaimer. Any opinions you hear expressed herein belong to us, the expressor of the opinion, the channel, and or the parent company, but do not necessarily belong to any of our advertisers, including The Hidden Leaf, Firehouse, and Kush Gang. Sorry about that. Keep going, please.
While they did manage to scrape together enough to actually get this into court, probably using the claims of injury to the marriage. I know that there were claims that they were unduly harassed, and there is a line where your freedom of speech reaches harassment levels and something can be done, at least civilly for it.
Yes, but that
'Cause while
line
I'm a
is
public
usually that line is usually reaching out to a person.
Usually.
Well, okay, but actually no, I'm going to go with that line is reaching out to a person. actively engaging your speech to them. I would think that this, unless Afro Man was calling each of these cops, I don't think this speech falls under that. Because this is still public speech. Even if he was holding press conferences and making videos and the music videos, this all falls under public speech.
Yes.
And without a court order demanding a cease and desist first, it does not rise to harassment, I don't think. Not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure he still doesn't have grounds to bring that.
They cited that his videos specifically made it so that they had to leave positions and were unable to be rehired elsewhere.
They're cops, it doesn't count. We're allowed to observe cops.
I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying that
you're not. I know you're not. I'm arguing with them here, not you.
Yeah, well, we don't have to argue with them because, like I said, this actually went to a trial. They had evidence. They showed their evidence, which was stupid.
I think what I'm doing is yelling at their lawyers for even bothering. It's like...
I mean, yeah.
God,
they should have looked at...
I don't want to say I hope they didn't have to pay their lawyers, but I hope their lawyers are on the we don't get paid unless you win kind of tip.
Unfortunately, they were probably paid for by the police union.
That is an absolute waste of taxpayer money.
Yes, it is. But, yeah, no. Their lawyers were proven legally wrong with all of these claims because the jury, like I said, 3 hours. Friday is when the end of the trial came, and they were expecting the verdict would come in like Monday or Tuesday, and by the time the Canadian lawyer I watch came on to have his regular show, or sort of regular show, Friday night, they were already back with the verdict. And he streams 8 o'clock our time, but he's over a couple of hours, so he starts like 6:30 his time.
Okay.
Which would put him kind of roughly in line with Ohio.
Okay.
So they had their verdict back before the close of day.
That really is a very short amount of time in jury countenance. It's and I mean, from the outside, we all had some idea that this case had no actual standing, that this was going to be like this. We could pretty easily, from the outside, non-lawyers from the outside go, oh, you guys have nothing. Like, why are you even doing this?
Because there's always a chance that they will get enough sympathetic people on the jury to say, okay, maybe not everything, but
they'll get a hung jury.
It looks like you really
something.
did break up that marriage.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Or
you'd have to have a jury of divorced white men to side with him on that. To side with, you would have to have a very specific jury. For any of this, you'd have to have a jury of old white men for this to work. I know, but even then, obviously there wasn't enough of a jury pool of old white men in Ohio to make this work. Or, more to the point, there were enough other people in Ohio.
Yeah.
And really, the percentage of the ratio of old white men to humans is A, pretty small, and B, getting smaller.
I mean, eventually old age will carry them all off.
We hope.
We just need to prevent any more being made while they're dwindling.
Right. That's what they want. Hey, Maddie Holmes, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Also, hi, Chris in the 386 and Darth Dragonis. Sorry I didn't say hi earlier. We were in conversation. So, yeah, that's the Afro Man situation for you. He thought he was going to jail. Till he got high. Till he got high. Till he got high. Thought he was getting sued. Till he got high. Till he got high. Till he got high. That is, to me, just a great piece of news right now in this news environment in which we have been living.
Also, the suit that he wore to court.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that thing was impressive.
And the overcoat that he wore to court.
Can you pull up a picture and throw it in chat?
Yeah, give me a minute.
All right.
Let's see if I can find the picture.
To be replaced by Andrew Tate, MAGA Manosphere old men. Ew, no.
There you go. All I had to do was pull up the
I took it personally and left. I get it. That's funny. All you had to do was what?
Pull up a GIF right there in chat. On Discord.
Oh, that's the suit.
Yes, that's the suit.
And he's even marching to the beat of Till I Got High, if you look at it.
I know. When he left court, he had this great big, fluffy, heavy, white, fuzzy coat on that went down almost to his ankles. Over top of that, it's like, that is just...
Yeah.
That's just the most awesome thing. And
That's
his
the
lawyer,
look.
bless him, his lawyer, you could just barely see it underneath his beard, but he had a matching tie.
Ha! Nice. Nice. So, yeah. Afro Man relatively exonerated. We are happy about that.
Yeah.
All right. So, anything else to cover before we get into the game? You know, other than all the awful war things going on.
Not really.
Yeah, it's pretty dim out there right now. The Iran war and its fallout seems to be dominating the news cycle right now. Although Sudan is attacking its neighbors, and we can't tell if it's the RSF or the Sudanese, the official Sudanese army, and they're blaming each other for it. So, and Israel is attacking Lebanon. Hezbollah made the mistake of getting involved and firing at Israel in response to Iran, and Israel just sort of went all Israeli on him. And apparently the people in Lebanon, the Lebanese people, are just about done with Hezbollah because of this. Like, they were less than excited about Hezbollah before, but now because Hezbollah's dragging them into another armed conflict, kinetic armed conflict with Israel that they're just getting hammered in, because it is asymmetric warfare. All right, I am curious as to what this is going to be. Man. Oh. So I had to get this in a secondhand store. Cute. Yeah. Because Israel is just straight up hammering Lebanon. It really is, the Lebanese people are really getting dissatisfied with Hezbollah. And of course, because we are in this kinetic conflict in this war with Iran, we're beginning to say, our regime, is beginning to say, oh, we don't have the weapons to be supporting Ukraine in its fight with Russia anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that could have made a difference a few years ago. But at this point, I think Ukraine is pretty ready to rely on their own ingenuity. You know, I think it's awful that we're not giving them weapons. We should be putting our boots on the ground there to protect them from the evil that is Putin. But we aren't. Mm-hmm. I think we should still be sending them weapons. I think we should be sending them to them directly, not through Europe like we are. But I also think that Ukraine has proven that they have the ingenuity and drive to fight this war without us. And that they are going to force it to be a war of attrition, and Putin is probably going to run out of resources before he can take everything. So that's my hope anyway. And I'm not entirely sure if that's how it's going to go, but that's my hope. Let's see. What else is going on in the news cycle recently? Oh, people dying. We lost a couple of problematic people this week. Chuck Norris. And the guy who played Xander on Buffy. Turns out that dude was just a big bundle of problematic.
Don't recall hearing about that one.
Yeah. About him passing or about him being problematic?
Yeah, well, either, honestly.
There's some of his criminal record that I'm going to say, I won't judge. There's, he just ended up on rough times. But there was some stuff in his past, some violence, and I don't know if there was some violence in his past and violence towards women that made me not like him. It was just like, okay, I'm done with you now.
Mm-hmm.
Loads of drugs, yes. Yes. He was on loads of drugs, which is what I'm not going to judge him for, because when it comes to that, I don't even have a pony. I've barely got a hobby horse. I do not have a high horse from which to speak about drugs. So, yeah, pretty much the rest of the news cycle has been pretty depressing. So let's see what kind of comedy they can make out of this.
Yeah, nuts.
Everybody clicked on the screen. Hey, Jessamy Crystal. Happy Sunday. Thank you for being here. Oh, let me make sure I didn't miss one of the part of the raid train on the Sunday No Pants raid train. Okay, 506 is still going. Let me do that real quick. Sorry, friends. I know, I'm messing with computer settings, which is boring on live stream. All right, let's click on this. Everybody see if they can hear it.
Machine, not.
Oops, wrong button. Also, let me hit that button. Cheese and crackers.
This message comes from
There it
Invest
is.
529, helping families save in the new year for their
Can you all
education
hear?
goals. Learn how you
Yep.
can start 2026
All right.
strong
Everybody
with a
got their pencil and
529
paper
account
and
at
ready?
invest529.com.
All right.
From NPR and WWDTM Chicago, this is Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. I'm the voice so hot, the mic drops itself. I'm Bill Curtis, and here is your
Bill,
host at the
that was
Studebaker
great.
Theater at the Fine Arts Building in Chicago, Illinois, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Bill. Oh, thank you, everybody. Great to see you. Thank you so much. Later on today, we're going to be talking to former Daily Show correspondent Aasif Mandvi, who left that show in 2017 to star in TV shows and movies and plays in which he didn't have to talk at all about the news. The man has timing. So give us a call before we figure out a way out. The number to call is 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. It's time to welcome our first listener contestant. Hi, you're on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, Peter. This is Grace, and I'm calling from Peacham, Vermont.
Peacham,
Hi,
Vermont.
Grace.
I'm going to say that if I wrote like a TV show set in a fictional but charming Vermont town, I'd probably call it Peacham. Is it what I imagine? Is it beautiful and verdant and filled with interesting people, Grace?
You bet it is. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
It's a hill town about an hour south of Quebec and 20 miles from the nearest Starbucks.
Whoa.
Whoa. All right. All
Well,
right.
Grace, let me introduce you to our panel this week. First up, it's the comedian you can see April 9th at Tulalip Casino in Seattle, and April 27th through May 3rd at the Comedy Cellar at the Rio in Las Vegas. It's Alonzo Bowden.
Hey, Alonzo.
Oh, hello, Alonzo.
Next, she's a comedian you can see in Frederick, Maryland on April 17th at the Weinberg Center for the Arts, and host of the podcast Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. It's Paula Poundstone.
Hey, Paula.
Hey, Paula. Love you, girl.
And finally making his debut on our show, it's a comedian whose podcast Coastal Idiots can be heard every Tuesday on all the platforms. And you can catch him at the Den Theater here in Chicago as part of the Windy City Comedy Festival on August 6th. It's Shane Torres.
Hey, Shane.
Hi, Shane.
Nice to meet you.
So, Grace, you're going to play Who's Bill this time. Bill Curtis is going to read you 3 quotations from this week's news. If you can correctly identify or explain just 2 of them, you will win our prize. Any voice from our show you might choose for your voicemail. Are you ready to go?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go. Your first quote is about the new trend of people gambling on reality TV.
Is it legal to take a boat to Fiji and watch the finalists on the beach with binoculars?
That was a question the New York Times asked after news that people are now betting on the outcome of what reality show?
Love
Oh,
Island?
gosh.
Survivor.
I need a hint.
Survivor.
Well, you can also bet on things like How many times Jeff Probst says, "Come on in, guys"?
Oh, Survivor?
Survivor, yes.
Probst is hosting
The prediction
Survivor?
markets like Polymarket and Kalshi, they're now taking bets on the
Hold on. Jeff Probst is hosting Survivor?
Who?
Yeah.
When did this happen? Okay, Jeff Probst.
It's the 50th. It's the 50th season, so they're doing special stuff. And Maddie, they're not going to be doing The Bachelorette. That got canceled because of all of the drama around that with that particular star.
Okay. Probst is. He's a cartoon character of a person.
That's with everybody that's been in the news lately.
Yeah.
Not like Jeff Probst. It's like somebody took Buddy Holly and then animated him in this sort of ridiculous 80s style. And then
I'm gonna have to
turned that into a human being.
I will have to take back what I said about it being special. He has been the host of that show since it started.
What? Really?
Host of Survivor, which he hosted since its inception in 2000.
Oh my god, okay. I just
And
can't.
somehow we are on the 50th season.
Because they do
shoot
2 seasons a year. 25 years, 2 seasons a year.
Yep. 50 seasons. They shoot year round. They don't take a season break. I want Edward. No, I want Jeff Probst. Believe me, this is oh man. Because he is. Only thing he's gonna survive is his TV career. He is not a Survivor type guy. I love that. The incongruity of him being the host. I feel like that may have been one of its keys to success. He's been on the show more than anyone. Yeah. I can see how Jeff Probst could, he used to be, his have always been my favorite Whose Line Is It Anyway? The ones where he's on that. I've always loved that. Wasn't he also one of the voices for Thomas the Tank Engine?
Don't know.
The ultimate survivor. Yeah, he is. No, Bob the Builder. It's either Bob the Builder or Thomas the Tank Engine. He's the voice for one of them. Did one of y'all find a picture of him?
All right, Greg Probst is the one for Bob the Builder.
Greg Probst's not Jeff Probst. So I've got
Yes.
the wrong guy in my head the whole time.
For Bob the Builder, entirely.
No, for Survivor. I've got Greg Probst in my head for Survivor.
Yes. No.
He is not Jeff
No,
Probst.
No, he is not. This is Bob the Builder is the guy from Whose Line,
Yep.
among other things.
And he's the one who looks like a 1980s animated version of Buddy Holly.
Yes, with the glasses.
And the hair.
Yeah.
And the outfits. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Although I think Greg Probst would have been a better host for Survivor because... And see, this is how dyslexia can affect your life too. Got them
This
good
is true.
mixed up.
This is true.
Wow. I was wrong. I was wrong. That so explains why I wasn't sucked into Survivor like I should have been if it was Greg Probst.
Yeah.
Are they related?
Nope. One is Probst and the other one is Proobs. Sounds similar, spelled completely different.
Okay. Watching me get confused here. Let's get back to the show. Let's stop concentrating on my mistake.
Look, at least we all get one for that.
Yep.
Shows, meaning someday you might hear a small child say, Daddy had to sell the house because Kayla won The Bachelor. So
Peter,
yes.
let me ask you.
Yes.
Can I put a bet down now on this show?
Sure.
'Cause
Why not?
I'm all in on Paula Poundstone.
I think really everybody.
I mean, yeah.
The odds, man. You can't get good odds on Paula.
Yeah, if there's some sort of reality show theme during this show, I'm definitely going to be the winner.
Exactly. I'm just going to say, as an experienced gambler from way back, betting on reality shows, that's for amateurs. I put $40,000 on young Sheldon dying in a fire. So thanks to these new prediction markets, you can now bet on almost literally anything. The opening box office of the new Avengers movie, you can bet on that. The highest temperature in Des Moines, Iowa next month.
How many elementary schools we
on
bomb?
Polymarket right now on whether or not Jesus will return by the end of this year.
Wow.
You can bet on that.
Wow.
I mean, they supposedly it's all legit, but it's a little suspicious that a guy with the screen name Papa Leo 14 has $500,000 on no.
You know, if we were culling,
Yeah.
if we were, like the...
Trying to remove
Exactly.
the less, shall we say, productive members of society. Is
Then
that what
I
you're getting
say
at?
you just find whoever made a bet on that at all.
Yeah,
And that's the first batch.
you need to go.
And, it's not a popularity contest.
We will,
You
we know what we do, we round them up,
Yeah.
we put them on an island, and then we bet on that. Here's your next quote.
Why are we wasting money making these? 2 nickels work just fine.
That was a commenter in the ABC News affiliate talking about
Dimes.
the new what being made by the U.S. Mint.
The new dime?
Yes, dimes, yes.
Because
In honor of the nation's 250th anniversary, the U.S. Mint has begun...
if we get rid of dimes, then how's anybody gonna buy $10 worth of weed? Are we just gonna have to remember Bag Daryl? No, I want to live in a world where we get to remember one of the greatest metal guitarists ever, Dime Bag Daryl. He's not 2 Nicks Daryl.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But if we don't have dimes, Nickelback might make a comeback.
My point exactly. We don't need any more Nickelback.
Out shiny new dimes. And on the front of the new dime is a profile of Lady Liberty that has replaced the old profile of FDR. It turns out we are allowed to have women on currency as long as the woman is imaginary.
Yep.
Sad but true.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's just stating a fact.
People It's a little controversial because the eagle on the back used to hold arrows in an olive branch, but they have now gotten rid of the olive branch, so it's more warlike, and people are like, this is Trump again, he's doing this. But no, it was actually designed under Joe Biden. In fact, Joe Biden unveiled the new dime by pulling it from behind your ear and telling you not to spend it all in one place.
I think it's funny that the dime is controversial because I suspect they could have rolled out the new dimes and not said anything and no one would have noticed.
That's true. Nobody would have liked it.
When have you last looked at a dime?
When's the last time you used a dime?
Well, now they're going to have to bring back payphones, so we have something to do with it.
That's true.
I loved payphones.
Payphones don't take
like
dimes.
In the
They haven't
airport,
taken.
when you could get the kind that had the seat in it.
Oh, yeah.
You could close the
the
door.
The lap of luxury in there.
Payphones haven't taken dimes in decades. In decades.
They haven't made payphones to take any type of anything in decades. That's not a valid argument.
Okay, for a decade before they started disappearing, payphones were pretty much just taking quarters only.
Thus making them easier to rob, yes.
Yes. But yeah, they were, payphones were not, payphones stopped taking dimes before they disappeared. Afro Man has a couple of new songs, not just Lemon Poundstone. Is Lemon Poundstone a real new song, or was that a joke?
That's a joke.
That's what I thought.
Because of the song for the court hearing about lemon pound cake.
Right.
And we're listening
to Paula Poundstone. Right. That's what I thought, but I wasn't entirely sure.
It was like a refuge. I'd get in there with my phone book and just have at it.
What's a payphone?
Yeah,
I'm a little younger.
All the Gen Z listeners just, there they go again.
Yeah, there they are.
Talking about how good it used to be.
Payphones.
Yeah, well, even mentioning a phone book to a Gen Zer, you have to explain it's a book that doxed everyone.
All right, we have one more quote for you. This is from the spokesperson for a mysterious artist who, until now,
Banksy.
Oh, it's going to be for Banksy.
Yeah, but I was going to say, that's something we don't talk a lot about, but like, we used to dox ourselves. We used to call in to the phone book company and specifically give them our address, our full name, and our phone number. And they would print it in a book and send it to everybody in your neighborhood and everybody in your town and sometimes usually everybody in your county. And you could, I don't know if it was free or not, but you could get phone books from other counties, other cities. So you could, there was no such thing as doxing. We were all doxed.
Unless you took steps to tell the phone company specifically you did not want to be listed.
Right. You had to, the assumption was that you wanted people to know how to find you, and they were gonna make that happen.
And then Terminator came along, and you had that phone book page full of Sarah Connors that he went around neutralizing. And the rise of unlisted numbers went up.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh yeah.
Okay.
May not be a killer robot, but
it began to be like, I see the problem here. Huh.
The real point of the phone book was not so much the address, but finding the actual phone number. Now you can it doesn't take any effort to get someone's phone number.
no, it doesn't. I mean, You can do it free. You can do it a lot easier and a lot quicker if you've got a subscription to something. One of the different reverse phone number lookups or whatever. It's really easy.
And the fact that the phone number shows up on your phone.
Too, unless you've, again, taken steps to make sure that it shows up as not available.
Right. It is, it was a very interesting, I would say, very fast cultural shift. It may have taken 5-10 years, but in that 5 or 10 years, there was, it started probably 5 years before and didn't, tapered off for 5 years after. So totally, you're probably looking at like maybe about 15 to 20 years. But there was a 5 to 10 year period where we all started going, oh my God, my IRL privacy. I have got to protect my IRL privacy. And I think one of the things that really shifted over, the two things that made it shift over were the rise of scams, the Nigerian prince scam specifically, and the Craigslist killer.
Yeah.
I think.
How dare you say my lost cousin is a scam?
I knew that was on its way. I did. I just, I know you, so I knew that was coming, but it still got me, man. Still got me.
I need to work on my timing. You were taking a hit at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
So yeah, I feel like those incidents were where that shift really happened. And then with the rise of social media in general and the ability of people to deliver death threats and be, the etiquette and then laws around doxing grew out of our inability as humans to be nice to each other when anonymity is involved.
Yeah.
So now that we've deconstructed that, phone books, what a funny thing. My high school used to publish a phone book. Publish being a generous word. Book being a generous word.
See, there's the thing is that there are still congregations that put out their own version of a phone book for everybody.
It's entirely possible that my high school still has a phone book. Still puts out a phone book that lists the students, their parents, the teachers, and everybody's phone number.
And in smaller degree, most sports teams that kids are on end up sending around a list like that for everybody on the team so that all the parents know how to get hold of the other parents.
Right.
It's just more expected now and understood now that if you are part of the team and you get this document, you are not going to then turn around and give this document to someone else and give them all the names and numbers of everybody on the team.
Right.
If someone asks, do you have Tommy's mom's contact info? You're like, I don't know, let me check. And the let me check part is you're talking to Tommy's mom and saying, hey, so-and-so wants this. Can I give it to them?
Right. I don't even go with the let me check. I don't say, I don't know, let me check. I go, let me ask them if they're okay with that. That's my move. Is, let me ask them if they're okay with that. Because I want the people asking to know that I'm going to ask the other person.
Yes.
I want them to know that now they're being scrutinized.
But the difference in phrasing, that is honestly more of a boy versus girl raised thing.
That's true.
Girls are trained to deflect and soften. So,
and not just raised, but also not just raised. This is actually a social conditioning thing and a safety thing. I can get away with being more direct and a little more confrontational because I don't look like an easy victim. Someone's not going to go, oh no, you're going to give me that information, and then physically threaten me or verbally abuse me until I do. Like, no, this is not the face that you do that to.
no.
So I can be more direct about it. But I also see why women choose the different phrasing.
It's like I said, it's both choosing and being trained to use that kind of phrasing no matter what. But either way, the expectation now is still, I have been given your information. I don't just hand it out willy-nilly like we used to have the phone book and could just be like, here, I have a stack of 12 phone books. Do you need a booster seat? Come sit on 3 of them.
Right.
Or just a DC phone book.
Yes.
Right. Like, DC phone books, they were, phone books were big books. A DC phone book was that, that size, about that size, and the thickness of like 2 to 3 George R.R. Martin books stacked. It was, if you take, it was about the size, if you take all of the A Song of Fire and Ice, the entire Game of Thrones book series, and stack them, and, it's about the same size. And somehow, I think more people might have died in the George R.R. Martin books. I'm saying he killed off a lot of people.
Who, until now, we've known only by his pseudonym.
The artist has decided to say nothing.
That artist was staying.
Are we ready to get back to the game now?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did I say something other than Ice and Fire? I don't remember. Oh well. Okay, back to the game.
silent after his identity was finally revealed this week. Who
And we
is
all
it?
said Banksy already.
Another one?
TJ Khaled.
Oh, somebody help me.
I have another hint. He is famous for the paintings he puts up on the sides of buildings, including, appropriately,
Banksy.
Banksy, yes, Banksy.
And my God, does he look
An
normal?
investigation by Reuters has finally revealed the real identity of Banksy. His real name is Robin Gunningham, which I guess explains why he calls himself Banksy. It's going to be so weird now. He was this mysterious figure, now he's just a guy. He'll be taking out the trash, and his neighbors will be like, "Hey, Robin Gunningham, saw your devastating social commentary last week. Nicely done."
You think his neighbors are like, so that's why there were so many spray cans
Yeah, I wonder.
every week in the
We just
trash?
thought he was huffing it.
Yeah,
So how does this affect the value
that is
of
a
his work?
good question. Art collectors have wondered if this revelation might negatively affect the prices of Banksy's work. He's no longer that mysterious.
Yeah, did with Rembrandt.
Yeah, true. One Banksy dealer doesn't think so. Quote, "My clients buy Banksy's art because of the art itself," he said, lying. It's disappointing. It's just some random guy. It would have been so fun if they
Except
were
we all
like, "We can
knew
finally
it
reveal
was."
the real identity of famed street artist Banksy, and it is Shaquille O'Neal?"
That
Bill,
would have been good.
how
though.
did Grace do on our quiz ultimately?
Grace, you got there eventually. You are a winner.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think Banksy cares about how his identity being revealed affects the price of his work.
Doesn't care about the
No.
price of his work.
Huh?
He doesn't care about the price. Well, he does care about the price of the work, but
Right.
inversely.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Like the one time he did allow something to be auctioned off. And as soon as the auction was completed, it shredded itself.
I thought that was brilliant. I really did.
The self-shredding frame was awesome.
Yeah.
But he was definitely more on the side of not wanting to be bothered. So in the article they mentioned, or at least a similar one, it mentions that to help, he legally changed his name at one point to be something akin to John Doe. You know, taking like the most popular male name in England and the most popular surname in England and putting them together so that he would be so average.
Right.
So he's running around as like, you know, Robert Smith or something like that.
That is a pretty yeah. I mean, that sounds a lot like what he would be doing. And yeah, that's a pretty normal name there. So
And they've gotten pictures of him before, so this isn't the first time they've had pictures of him. This is just the first time they've had pictures of him and they can match it with his original name.
right. God, he just looks so normal.
Thank you, Grace.
Oh, thank you guys so much.
Take care.
All right, we've made it through the first game.
Right now, panel, it is time for you to answer some questions about the week's news. Shane Clavicular is the now famous looks-maxing influencer.
Oh, yeah.
He's done everything to improve his appearance, up to and including smashing the bones in his face. According to a report we saw this week, he had a very surprising fan. Who was it?
Oh my God. Please.
Oh, God.
Somebody yelled Paula Poundstone. That would be arguably even more surprising, but it's not Paula.
I would love any kind of
I will give you a
please.
hint. We don't know if his son has inherited this enthusiasm along with the leadership of Iran's Revolutionary Council.
Ayatollah, whatever.
Actually, the old one.
Oh.
The now
Ayatollah
late
Khamenei.
supreme leader of Iran, according to a website called Tehran Dispatch, which seems to offer otherwise very serious reports
did
about
know
things
that.
going on in Iran. The late Ayatollah watched 300 hours of content from online insane person Clavicular.
Online insane person. That does. I mean, yeah, he smashed his face with a hammer.
I know.
But I was aware. I was actually aware of this because he also is into some of the manosphere, the general manosphere, or was into some of the general manosphere stuff. Not so much the white supremacy side of it, but the misogyny side of it. Which certainly tracks for people like Clavicular.
Mm-hmm.
So.
This is very surprising because the Ayatollah wasn't even that hot. According to one of the Ayatollah's associates familiar with the discovery, quote, there are aspects of a man's private life that are between him and God. According to God, quote, please don't drag me into this.
I bet God says that a lot.
Probably.
Particularly now.
Yeah, God wears a T-shirt that says that.
I wonder if he was watching it or was his wife like, hey, look at this.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this.
Have you ever considered shaving? Have you ever considered shaving the beard, maybe?
Could you put the hat askew?
Yeah, a little bit. A little cocky kind of thing, yeah. Anyway, meanwhile, when asked for a comment on this, Clavicular said, quote, what's Iran?
You're so pretty.
Ow.
Oh,
What's
so
Iran?
pretty.
That's just ow.
You really
Tell me, from NPR.
Client situation is .com/.
News quiz. I'm Bill Curtis. We are playing this week with Shane Torres, Alonzo Bowden, and the one and only Paula Poundstone.
One line,
And here again is
insane
your host
person,
at the
but like many
Studebaker Theater in
things,
Chicago,
there are
Illinois,
varying
Peter
degrees.
Sagal.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks, everybody. Right now, it is time for the Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me Bluff the Listener game. Call 1-888-WAIT-WAIT to play our game on the air. Hi, you're on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, Peter. This is Dimitri from Elon, North Carolina.
Elon, North Carolina.
Hi, Dimitri.
How many signatures does the petition to change
place.
the town's name have at this point?
F or C, maybe even K.
Trust me, the school definitely has done a little bit of a rebrand.
Yeah, so, oh yes, Elon University, right?
Yes.
Yes. Are you a student there?
I just graduated from their law school back in December.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what kind of law do you anticipate doing?
If I was to practice, I would want to do like civil rights or try to work for government agencies to make sure that, you know, things work well and work the way they're supposed to.
I'm glad at least one person wants that to happen. I hope you get that job. Dimitri, it's nice to have you with us. You're going to play the game in which you have to tell truth from fiction. Bill, what is Dimitri's topic?
Give my regards to Broadway.
You never know what might happen on a trip to New York City. You could run into a celebrity. You could step in any number of mystery puddles. Our panelists are going to tell you about one tourist trip to the Big Apple that was so memorable it made the news. Pick the one who's telling the truth. You'll win our prize, the Wait Waiter of your choice in your voicemail. You ready to play?
Sure am.
All right, first let's hear from Alonzo Bowden.
When Connor Langley from Dalzell, South Carolina, told his friends and neighbors he was going to New York for the first time, he was warned New York was a dangerous town where nothing was green and everyone was dangerous.
Civil rights war.
Prepared for the worst, Connor hit New York, and immediately he was struck by how aggressive the city was. Aggressively nice. When lost at a train station, an older lady helped him get to his hostel in Brooklyn. When staring up at the Empire State Building, he realized he was in someone's way when a man yelled, "Hey, I'm walking here." Step aside and enjoy the beauty of our city, my friend. At Central Park, he asked a lady why New York had such a reputation for being mean when the people were so nice. And she said it was a weird thing about New York. The people are nice, but to protect that, they act mean. Connor just nodded and asked where to get some bad pizza because he was told even the bad pizza was actually pretty good.
A man is stunned to find New Yorkers are filled with kind, helpful people who'll give you the time of day. Your next New York Minute comes from Shane Torres.
That does sound like the New York
Many artists
I know,
dream of making it big in New York City. This is no different for fledgling Swedish metal band Donnerkatt, roughly translated to Death Breath, who this week ended their 3-week American tour with a show in New York. As the band pulled up to the venue for a sound check, they could not believe the enormity of it. After playing 200, 300 capacity rooms the whole tour, they were now pulling up to the Javits Center, an enormous convention center in Manhattan. But no, Donnerkatt did not hit it big overnight. This was all a result of mistaken identity, as the band had been booked to play a dental convention. Because Donnerkatt translates to death breath, the slang term dentists use for halitosis, one organizer wrongly assumed the band was dental metal, not death metal. But they went ahead and played a signature song like Mouth of Hell and You Are the Cavity of My Soul to over 3,000 dentists, aka new fans. When asked by the website Metal Injection what he thought about the gig, frontman Jan Skarsgård said, "I loved it. These dentists are way more disturbed than any of our regular fans."
Yes.
A Swedish death metal band ends up entertaining 3,000 dentists at the Javits
want it to
Center.
be
Your
true.
last story from the city that never sleeps comes from Paula Poundstone.
Faisal Mans of Schemmerhofen, Germany, came to New York City on holiday in August of 2024 to take his bite out of the Big Apple. By the time he left, he was seeking $20 million in damages. Quite a bite. In fact, Mr. Mans's alleged out-of-towner odyssey of mistreatment began when he took a bite of a taco from Los Tacos No. 1 on 43rd Street, where he says his tongue and mouth were burning and immediately worsening to gastrointestinal and emotional distress. So he sued. Days later, he tried to use his phone inside the Walmart Supercenter in Secaucus, New Jersey, probably to buy some Pepto-Bismol. His phone wouldn't work inside the Walmart, so he sued. This week, all of Mr. Mans's cases were dismissed, but with international tourism at such a dismal low, the possibility of luring foreigners back to the Big Apple with a sue the crap out of New York City tour shouldn't be tossed aside.
All right.
So you have insider information on this one?
I've heard this story, yes.
Okay. Then we'll all take B. Or C.
Nope, I'm going with B.
I really want A to be true because it's the New York that I know. Like, even getting mugged wasn't bad. It was quite polite. But I will defer to expertise, so I will go C. Oops, wrong button.
Here are your choices. Somebody had a memorable trip to New York. Was it from Alonzo, a person who came expecting the worst but received the best, so much so that he told the news about it? From Shane Torres, a Swedish death metal band found itself at the Javits Center, an enormous place filled with dentists, but was a hit anyway. Or from Paula, a German tourist who came to New York City and Secaucus, New Jersey for the sights, had such a terrible time he sued everybody for $20 million. Which of these was the real story we found in the news about a trip to New York City?
I'm not saying this is the real one, but Paula's story sounded like a tort hypothetical that I know a lot of the 1Ls went through a couple months ago. But I think Alonzo's story is the true one.
All right. Well, to bring you the correct answer, we talked to someone who reported on it.
The green salsa at Los Tacos No. 1 is not out of this world spicy.
But it did cause this German tourist intestinal distress. That was Christopher Mogg, a journalist on the Metro desk at the New York Times. talking about that German tourist's tour of the American legal system. So
what was that?
The audience was upset with this.
Oh,
You
yeah.
heard them, they're like, ah.
Yeah. What did you say, Peanut Gallery?
I didn't say anything.
Oh. I thought I heard you say something. Although, now is the time to say something about being right, if you would like. So humble.
Is that Paula's story was not a hypothetical. So you didn't win, but you earned a point for Alonzo for telling a charming story about his own native city. Thank you so much for playing, and good luck as you navigate the even weirder things that happen in real life.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This town is champagne. So shake the bottle, pop that cork. All the deadliest sins are like
okay, this one's gonna be that track.
And now the
is
game where we
probably
ask
gonna
people
get
who've done a
us,
lot to do something else. We call
copyright
it Not My
claimed
Job.
on
Now,
YouTube.
if you're like me, you first became a fan of Aasif Mandvi during his long run as a correspondent with The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. But again, if you're like me, you may not have known that he's also a longtime working actor with roles in TV, film, and theater. Right now, he is starring in a new comedy on Peacock called The Miniature Wife, and he's rehearsing for a revival of Noel Coward's Fallen Angels on Broadway. Aasif Mandvi, welcome to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you.
All right.
It's great to finally talk to you after watching you for so many years. Like I said, I always love hearing stories about like actors who were at it for a while and paid their dues. I heard this remarkable story after starting at a Disney theme park, which I love. You ended up in New York, and you did a whole bunch of jobs, and I love this, including you worked for a company that put on like murder mystery parties.
Yeah. I used to perform in murder mysteries where we would go undercut, like sort of incognito into these parties, and then someone would get killed. And one of the most infamous ones that I ever did was at a North.
What was that?
It was Lumiere, the candelabra from Beauty and the Beast.
Ah.
Considering it was near Disney World. Lumiere did it.
Lumiere did. I've always wanted to do one of those murder mystery parties. I've always wanted to have one of those. I do not think I would actually be good at it. I believe I would have a great time, but I would get it wrong. I went into the idea of escape rooms thinking, oh, I got this. I did my first escape room. I was like, oh, I do not got this. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I don't think I could actually solve a murder mystery from the inside. I think I have watched too many murder mystery TV shows and movies and just gotten so used to being handheld through the process that I don't think I could do it from the inside.
You don't think you could live up to KFCIS? Beignet Blanc?
What was that last one? I was still chewing on Kentucky Fried CIS.
I said Beignet Blanc. The actual name is Benoit Blanc, but they did a Sesame Street thing where it was Beignet Blanc.
No, I don't think I
I do
can.
like his Southern Fried Foghorn Leghorn. He does a good job.
I do not. I I don't think I could actually solve a murder mystery. I think I would miss clues. But I'll never know unless I do one of those murder mystery parties.
Jewish
I think
they were trying to meet people to get married.
Like a singles meetup,
a singles
matchmaking
meetup thing, right? And we go in there, and
I just want to pause and say somebody organized a singles meetup for Orthodox Jews and said to themselves, you know what would make this a really great evening?
Yeah, exactly.
If somebody were murdered.
Yeah.
All right, you go in there.
And so I just remember that I was one of the other actors who I used to work with at the time. It was Connie Britton, and she was sort of chatting up this guy who I just remember was wearing a yellow suit. So that'll tell you everything about him.
Yeah.
And he thought he had, and she was really chatting him up, and he thought he had hit the jackpot.
Right.
Like he was like, this is like this beautiful woman is talking to me, and then about 20 minutes into it, she was killed by the.
Oh, poor guy.
I've had dates like that. I'm just a lot sympathetic. You are going on Broadway in this revival of the Noel Coward play with the great Rose Byrne, among many others. The other thing that you have coming out is a TV show on Peacock, a comedy called The Miniature Wife. And I have to say, I heard the title, and I said to myself, oh, that must be like a metaphor. It's about a wife. She's maybe in the shadow of her husband. She feels small. That's not what it's about, is it?
No. It's about a man who has, he's a scientist who has designed a sort of a serum that can miniaturize crops to combat climate change. So, Matthew McFadden, who I love from Succession, and Elizabeth Banks, who I worked with many years ago in Williamstown, is literally 6 inches tall.
Yes.
And lives in the dollhouse.
Yes.
For much, but they hate each other, and they're constantly trying to kill each other. So it's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids meets Tom and Jerry.
Did you have to spend any time on set, like crouching down and pretending you're talking to a 6-inch high Elizabeth?
Yes. Later in the season, Matthew hides the whole storyline of his wife from me for a long time until he finally can't, and then there is a moment where he and I are both on the floor talking to a small cardboard cutout of Elizabeth Banks.
Right.
And they would sort of move her around and sort of pretend like she was walking.
I have one more question for you. Like I said at the beginning, I first knew you and became a big fan when you were on The Daily Show. But I heard a story, I don't know how this could be true, that you ended up appearing on The Daily Show the same day you auditioned for it?
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
That is true. A couple of days earlier, I had found out that my ex-girlfriend had gotten engaged. And so I was very upset.
Yes.
And I was writing one of those letters.
No.
That you write to your ex-girlfriend saying how you up, and I can't say that. Can I say that? I mean,
you just did. It's all right.
You'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so I'm writing this, and I get this call to come and audition for The Daily Show, and I was in such a bad place that I said, I can't come in today. I don't feel it. Can I come in tomorrow? And they said, no, if you don't come in today, then it's done. So I literally just put on a suit and I went in, and I honestly just had this attitude of I'm never going to get this. This is ridiculous. I'm in the wrong frame of mind. And John met me and he said, and I was a little bit surly. And I said, because he said to me, have you ever performed in front of a live audience? And I remember looking at him and just being like, dude, I've been on Broadway. And I had but I just did my best Stephen Colbert impression because that's all I needed to do. And I was a fan of the show. And he hired me right there on the spot. And I was on the show that night. And I didn't even get a chance to tell anybody, and suddenly it was just, I was on the show and people were calling me, being like, there's a guy who looks a lot like you. He's on The Daily Show tonight. And so I didn't even get to tell my family until after it was on.
Did it comfort you, maybe, given the circumstances of the day, to know that maybe your ex-girlfriend would see you on this hit incredibly culturally significant TV show and think to herself, my God, what have I done?
You know, it's so funny. Like, the minute I got The Daily Show,
what girlfriend?
I didn't really care about my ex-girlfriend that much.
There you go. Lesson for you all, ladies and gentlemen.
Saw that on its way.
Aasif Mandvi, it's a pleasure to talk to you. We have asked you here today to play a game we're calling
Miniature Wife, Meet Miniature Groom.
So your new series is The Miniature Wife.
Oh, no.
And we're going to ask you about a place you usually find miniature brides and grooms on top of wedding cakes. Answer 2 to 3 questions correctly. You'll win our prize for one of our listeners, the voice of their choice on their voicemail. Bill, who is Aasif Mandvi playing for?
Linda Evers of Collinsville, Illinois.
All right.
I don't know if I got
Ready
this.
to play?
Sure.
Here's your first question. Wedding cakes have been around since at least ancient Roman times, but the tradition back then was a little different. Instead of the bride and groom cutting the cake together, what would happen? A, the bride would throw the cake as far as she could, and the groom would go find it and bring it back. B, they would break the cake over the bride's head. Or C, they would put a live squirrel inside it and wait for it to eat its way out, thus cutting the cake.
Breaking the cake over the bride's head.
Yes, you're right. They would break the cake over the bride's head. Oh, they lost a lot of good brides back then. And all right, here's your next question. Wedding cakes, of course, are a tradition now. But if you were getting married in 17th century Europe, you and your guests would most likely be cutting into what at the wedding celebration? Would it be A, what was known as the bride's pie, a savory pie filled with oysters, lamb testicles, and occasionally live snakes? B, potatoes, basically just dozens and dozens of potatoes? Or C, just the air, or as wedding planners of the time called it, a cake of the mind?
A?
I'm going to say that they would just cut into potatoes.
Potatoes.
They just
had a lot of potatoes at the time.
Yeah.
No, it was actually A, the bride's pie. According to Wikipedia, in addition to the other tasty things, they would occasionally put a live snake there to, quote, help guests to pass the time in a wedding. I guess they did that because at the time they needed entertainment and they had no DJs.
I guess.
Right, that's true.
It certainly.
That is true.
So anyway.
DJs didn't come around until about the 1800s.
Exactly true. Yeah. You have one more chance. If you get this right, you win. The one tradition today that every wedding expert tells you just skip it, don't do it, is when the groom smashes the cake into the bride's face, right? Or the bride does it to the groom. One couple went so hard in the cake smashing bit that after they cleaned up, this just happened in January, they did what? A, they did it again, smashing each other in the faces with the entree from dinner and then all the side dishes. B, they handed out cupcakes for their guests to smash on each other to join the fun. Or C, they got divorced.
I'm going to go with the cupcakes.
You're going to go with the cupcakes.
I think it's C.
The audience, you think they got divorced?
Probably C.
Is that what the audience
The audience thinks they got divorced.
All right, I'll go with the audience.
And
They
they're
got
right.
divorced.
You have to listen to the audience. They're right. Bill, how did Aasif Mandvi do?
I'm pretty sure I didn't
I've got
do
2
that
right,
at the wedding.
and that makes him a winner.
Congratulations.
Pretty sure I didn't do that at my
A little help. We're all here to help each other. It's a community. Aasif Mandvi is an actor that soon you can see on Broadway and Noel Coward's Fallen Angels, starring April 19th. And
Great
also,
to see
wanna go
you.
out
Thank
on
you for being
Peacock's
here.
The Miniature Wife, which starts streaming April 9th. Aasif Mandvi, what a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care. Break legs on Broadway.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
I do feel like in this day and age,
in just a minute, Bill
smashing
heads to
the
space
cake in
with
someone's
his
face would be valid grounds for
challenge. Call
divorce.
1-888-WAIT to join us on the air. We'll be back in a minute with more Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Leaving aside all of the personal
This message
humiliation
comes from
of it,
Ameriprise Financial.
the amount of time and money spent on makeup, the dress, and the hair alone.
Right.
And the amount that you're paying the photographer to have you looking as gorgeous and as regal as you can.
Right.
Yeah.
They went his and hers ambulance rides for broken noses.
Broken noses, black eyes. That'd be the other one is the injury because if you do not have a cake specially made for smashing, most of those cakes have wooden dowels in the centers.
So that was something that the hippies back on the commune had to figure out. Because you used to get pied in the face on your birthday on the commune. And they, at some point, they stopped using pie because it was expensive. And they would just fill up a pie tin with whipped cream. But then the pie tin broke someone's nose.
Oh.
And so they started doing it with plates, with like paper plates or styrofoam plates instead.
You know, I was going to say paper plates, but when you just said plates, I'm just like, ooh, the pie tin's not bad compared to a full-on ceramic plate.
Like, hey, let's get really slapstick up in here.
Oh, my.
You know, for a bunch of non-violent people, a group of non-violent hippies, like that's one of their main dogmatic tenets is non-violence. They sure do a lot of borderline violent slapstick.
I mean...
Work it out somehow.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In retrospect, yeah, like... I do like the getting a pie to the face on your birthday as a thing, like, as a sort of a tradition. Like, as long as everybody's in on it and everybody's okay with it and it is fun. But on what's supposed to be one of the best days of your life, and it's supposed to be the day where you look the best in your life. And I mean, makeup and hair and dress, like all of that, like you were saying, and then smashed in the face with a cake. It's like, nah. Just nah.
Which, I mean, if someone wanted to have the argument of we're going back to the old tradition of breaking the cake over the bride's head, you need to actually realize that what they were breaking was a little
cake.
Like
tea cake sized.
Basically. You know, it was like, you know, a little griddle cake that they were crumbling above her head for prosperity, to bless her with the grain and the honey that it was made with.
Right.
It's
not like we were taking a full-on 3-tier buttercream frosting and going poof.
And it wasn't even actually just crumbling. It was symbolically holding this cake above her head, you know, this pancake effectively, and breaking it in two.
Right.
It wasn't doing damage to the person.
Right. That hit had a hit in it. All right, back to the game.
Back to the game.
A slab of hardtack with speed holes drilled in. Exactly.
Basically.
Stone. And here again is your host at the Studebaker Theater in Chicago, Illinois, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Bill. In just a minute, Bill gets all hopped up on limericks. It's our Listener Limerick Challenge. If you'd like to play, give us a call at 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. Right now, panel, some more questions for you from the week's news. Shane, appropriately for St. Patrick's Day, Etiquette experts said this week that doing what at a party is actually fine.
Pinching people?
Getting drunk?
No, and also, what would pinching have to do with St. Patrick's Day?
If you don't wear green, you get pinched.
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
Not wearing green.
I did
Am
not.
That's not a
not
thing that
wearing
just
green.
happened at my house.
Right? No.
That's a,
Double
That would be awful if that was like
I
a
was
terrible,
very panicked
if
for
that was a terrible prank pulled on you by a mean older brother. Oh yeah, I got to pinch it.
Yeah.
No. There's an.
What else could be done at a party?
No, something related to the Irish.
Oh, Irish goodbye?
Yes,
Yeah.
Irish
goodbyes.
goodbyes, it turns out, are fine. For those who don't know, an Irish goodbye is when you quietly leave a party without telling anyone. You just disappear. Some say that's bad manners, but some say it's good. But everybody can agree that the Irish goodbye is better than the nowhere else to go, last one to leave. So people have said, well, the Irish goodbye is very poor. Poor manners. You should say goodbye to your host.
Person, the last one to leave, nowhere else to go, is called a coal rake or a rake. That is where rakish comes from, to refer to somebody who is an unwanted individual. Someone you don't want to have around is a rake.
Because they linger until you rake the coals back to go to bed.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Or they will linger and be the one to rake the coals. Like, that bad. So, yeah. Last one to leave. The person who doesn't leave the party early enough is the coal rake. Or the rake.
Makes sense.
Here I thought rake was the male version of slut.
Well, that's what it became to be known as.
Yes. That is where it... And I can see how it would get there.
I mean, both garden implements.
Only if he gets paid. But no, it's I could see how the man being the last to leave could start being associated, especially in the more Victorian ethical era, as he's trying to sleep with the lady of the house.
Or hook up with one of the guests while everybody else is dancing.
Exactly. I could see, I don't know that that's how it got there, but I could see that evolution.
Thinking everyone had gone home and then discovering, there's one last person that's been up to business that you didn't realize hadn't left yet.
Right. And in this house, we say working girls.
Okay.
You should say goodbye to your host. But now a group of etiquette experts have agreed that in the right circumstances, it's actually the correct thing to do.
All right. I'm not sure, but I feel like calling it an Irish goodbye is a little culturally insensitive.
Yeah. Irish, you would call it something else.
Scotch me there.
It probably is, but it also is not helped out that there are a couple of songs that I've heard done by Irish bands that call it that. So,
right?
It's like,
I know, I get it. But it's also their word. You know?
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah, it kind of is, quote unquote, their word.
I mean, I could say our word. I am Scotch-Irish, but my branch of the Stewart family spent so little time in Ireland that I don't really count myself as Irish. I'm Scottish, so I'm saying it's their word. I mean, I feel like if they don't care, but I want to be careful about it. Like, okay, substitute in anything else. Like, even not entirely comfortable saying this. So I'm not gonna, never mind. I'm not comfortable enough with what I was about to say to actually say it, so I'm not gonna. But you substitute in any other group of people and other activity, especially time-based, and you make that kind of statement, and it all of a sudden looks a lot worse.
I mean,
I don't even know if this would be a thing. Like, I don't know what this would be, but I'll go ahead and do this one. What a Jewish hello. Like, try saying that to somebody. Oh, that's a Jewish hello.
we do have the Southern goodbye, which is demonstratively different. So you couldn't substitute it.
Okay, the Southern goodbye. That's true, but you don't see Northerners talking about it.
Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess, yeah.
Especially when they have never experienced it.
Once
and
they
this is
experience
the
the
first
first Southern goodbye, yeah, I get that. All right. Oh, no. No, I'm not gonna look at that peanut gallery. I saw the setup and I'm like, and I'm not, nope, not looking at that now.
Yes.
Maddie says, I'm gonna guess
Yes,
most people
peanut
using
gallery, I
Irish
agree with that one.
Huh?
I agree
most
with
people
peanut gallery's comment.
I'm not reading it. I'm not even looking at it. Maddie says, I am going to guess most people using Irish goodbye are usually Irish American. We love to point out our own goofiness. And that I will agree with. Which is why it's sort of like, you know, if I talk about a Southern goodbye, I get it. Like, it's, even though it's not something I do, it's something I get caught in a lot, but it's not something I do.
Yeah.
I am a Southerner, and I do feel capable of sort of being like, yep, y'all, that's the thing. Southerners, eh?
All right. I do. That's a couple of years old for an article. That's not bad, at least.
Okay.
I'm busy looking up, why is it called this? Is this specifically just for this? Or, is there something else? Google's quick and dirty answers lists the reason it's called that is for the well-known tradition of large groups of Irish people being uncomfortable with prolonged goodbyes and just saying goodbye and leaving quietly. Also called the French exit. For a similar reason.
I feel more comfortable calling it a French exit.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why.
Yep, pretty much like that, Maddie.
Gotta go. Well, and slap your lap.
Yep.
The one I like
out of the couple different articles I'm reading, it seems to be not a terrible thing.
I mean, okay. Okay.
But yes, if you feel more comfortable calling it a French exit, go for it.
I feel like the fact that I feel more comfortable calling it a French exit says more about me than about words.
Could be.
There are specific situations where it is not really acceptable. Like, it's a party for you. They threw us a party, and you left with a church goodbye.
There are times when there is a party where I have had a party being thrown for me where it was 100% appropriate for me to just sort of be like, yep, I don't need to be here anymore. Bye. I'd just kind of disappear.
At the point where everybody is partying and you have been ignored for like 45 minutes and you're not noticed, I feel it is perfectly fine to escape.
Yes. Yes. When I was the excuse for the party, most of the people at the party didn't know who I was.
Mm-hmm.
It was just one of those, like, okay, this is really uncomfortable. And the people who threw the party, it wasn't like they were like, oh, let's make, Trev feel good. Let's be... It was more like, oh, this is a great day to throw a party. Oh, look, Trev is somebody to throw a party for. It was just like, this isn't real. I don't need to buy into something that isn't real. And just kind of quietly was out. Watch this later. I was about to click on it, and then I saw watch this later. More Midwest. Oh.
Which is more drawn out than the Southern goodbye. Somehow. Definitely watch that later.
Oh, okay. We'll watch it
Finish the game first.
Finish the game first. Okay. We'll finish the game first. Then we'll watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thing to do.
I would think if you had a bunch of etiquette experts at your party.
Yes.
As long as they left, you wouldn't care how they did it.
That's it.
Exactly.
Do you guys do the Irish goodbye at a party? Do you guys seek out the host, or do you I'm out?
I've gone both ways, but as a host, I prefer people say goodbye.
Okay, it's on the record now. You're going to a party at Paula's house. Let her know you're leaving.
Yeah. Otherwise, you just turn around, people are gone.
Yeah,
It's a little creepy.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I have slipped out of other parties before.
Sure. We've all done it.
I think it depends on the size of the party.
Exactly right. If it's a big party, why bother trying to find the person? It's okay. You can write them later. But if it's too small, you can't go. So holiday party, somebody's house, totally fine. Anniversary dinner with your wife,
not so good.
She'll notice.
Yeah.
But she might be glad you left.
That's true, depending how the dinner's going. Shane, a new study has found that birds around the world are picking up a fun new habit. Birds, it turns out, really like what?
I need yodeling.
Yodeling? I'm thinking, don't birds already yodel?
They sing.
Yeah.
They don't yodel.
You're about
Do
to
it.
yodel.
Yodel. I'll give you a hint. Turns out it's not a coincidence that bird nests are shaped like ashtrays.
They love smoking?
They love cigarettes.
Smoking?
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
Have you ever seen a bird with a cigarette in its mouth and thought, where am I, Paris? Researchers in Poland have studied songbirds, and they found that some have intentionally started building cigarette butts into their nests because the chemicals in tobacco repel
Yes.
parasites. The birds have figured that out. It works. It's a property
What do you
of
mean the birds have figured
They
that
have. I mean, this has always been true. It's why my great uncle never had to deal with head lice until the day he died of emphysema.
So this is like like an avian asbestos situation. It's like keeping things warm. The insulation from the cigarette butts would make their nest.
No. It turns out that they have figured out that
They haven't figured out.
They're doing it. They're all doing it. This
Okay,
is
just
happening
because they're
all
doing
over the
it
world.
doesn't mean they figured it out.
Yeah.
Birds are succumbing to peer pressure. That's what's
what it
happening.
The birds are like, other birds are smoking, and like the crows are smoking, and the finches are like, well, I want to look cool too. And they're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
No, it's keeping up with the red-winged Joneses.
Yes.
I actually go with you on this one, Peter.
Yeah.
I think the birds have figured it out. I'm
They
sorry,
haven't
Paula.
figured it out.
I think the birds figured. They said,
They
you know what?
fly into
Those
windows.
Birds, the birds. They saw the birds with the cigarette butts. They were like, those are some prettier birds than us.
Right.
They talk to each other. They say, you having a problem with parasites? Try,
Yeah.
Marlboro.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9
Well,
out
there they go.
of 9 out of 10 exterminators recommend Marlboros.
Exactly.
They fell
Just a
for the
stupid story.
camel ads.
This has actually been going on for years. I remember, I'm old enough to remember when birds actually had cigarettes inside restaurants.
Yup. That was.
Coming up, it's
I'm not
Lightning
sure
Fill in the
what
Blank.
that
But first,
was.
it's the game where you have to listen for the rhyme. If you'd like to play on air, call or leave a
All
message
right,
at
ready?
1-888-wait. That's 1-888-924-8924. You can catch us most weeks here at the Studebaker Theater in Chicago, and you can come see us on the road. For example, we will be in Savannah, Georgia on March 26th. That's next week. Come out and see us, Savannah. For tickets and information to all our live events, go to nprpresents.org. Hi, you're on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, this is Sarah from Percy, Pennsylvania.
Percy, Pennsylvania?
Hi,
Is that where
Sarah.
the phrase perky came from? Because you sound excited.
No, I think it's supposed to mean like the one who cracks hickory nuts or something.
Oh, yeah, sure. Percy. Yeah, everybody knows that. Sarah, welcome to the show. Bill Curtis right here is going to read you 3 news-related limericks with the last word or phrase missing from each. If you can fill in that last word or phrase correctly in 2 limericks, you'll be a winner. Ready to play?
Yep.
Let's do it. Here is your first limerick.
There's a comet in outer space ooze. That's a bit of a party boat cruise. You better not snitch that it's alcohol rich. The comet is filled up with
booze.
Booze?
Booze, yes. Scientists who are studying the interstellar comet 3I Atlas, which is currently zooming through our solar system, have discovered that it is full of alcohol. Finally.
Okay, no, but this makes perfect sense. This makes perfect sense because, what is it? The potable one is methyl, and the other one is ethyl.
We've got
And
methyl, ethyl, and glycol.
and propyl.
And propyl.
Methyl, ethyl, glycol, and propyl, and the drinkable one is methyl.
Hang on.
That's so methyl. Methyl.
There we go.
But all of these can be naturally occurring alcohols. These are not byproducts of organic life. So it makes perfect sense that it's entirely possible for a comet, which is mostly alcohols, gases, and ice and stuff like that? Or was it an asteroid? An asteroid, which can be full of liquid, or ice, actually, because at that temperature it'd probably be ice. So, I mean, yeah, it makes perfect sense that this would be a thing. That booze is out of this world. I mean, I don't drink anymore, but even I kind of want to try a little bit of it. Did you figure it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ethanol is the drinkable one. There's only 3.
Ethanol is drinkable.
Ethanol is the drinkable one. Methanol and isopropyl are the other 2. Isopropyl is what you get for rubbing alcohol for the most part. And methanol is what's usually used in cleaning products.
Yep.
Such as, well, cleaning and preservation products, such as formaldehyde.
Right.
Or, you know, my personal favorite, antifreeze.
Ethylene glycol.
But methanol is used to create that.
Yep.
Which, the good thing about that is that if you get some of that and you have any ethanol around, you drink that on your way to the hospital and tell them what you did.
Okay.
It is not a cure-all, but it helps slow stuff down.
And there you go. Although I gotta say, remember, we are not doctors. We just play them on TV.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Oh, you've got to head to work? Okay. I have been invaded by Picanito. Hi. Do you have any idea that I'm at work and that you're on stream? Do you even care? No. Okay. Okay. Back to the game.
Comet that has the sense to bring a bottle of wine when it pops by. Astronomers knew something was up when they saw it weaving all over the place on its way toward the sun. But for a comet like this to really work, it has to be followed by another comet made up entirely of mixed nuts.
How do they know that the comet's filled with alcohol?
They went and had a sip. No, they.
Do you find that as the show gets towards the end, the facts become a little iffy?
No, it's like, I think it's just easy. The birds are smoking, the comet is drinking, everybody's stressed. Here's your next limerick.
In the evenings, my mind starts to scurry, and my focus on calm thoughts gets blurry. But I heed sage advice and put bad thoughts on ice. Until morning, I postpone my
worry.
Worry.
Worry?
Worry, yes. According to a writer in The Guardian, to combat anxiety and stress, all we need to do is stop worrying at exactly 6:30 p.m. and don't start worrying till the next morning. Yeah, it's easy, because when 6:30 comes around, you just stop worrying. A thing you do willingly and have total control over. This advice came from a therapist who said he needed to have no worry time to give his brain a rest. He admits it's not easy, and it takes practice, and you have to go gradually, right? But after a couple of months of concentration and focus, he was able to get all the way to 6:45 without starting to whimper.
I think that's logical. I understand that it's easier said than done, but it does sound logical to me. There are times, even, if you're worrying a lot, drink some water. You'd be amazed how hydration changes your brain.
This is like when I broke my ankle playing football and I was told to walk it off. This is not...
Here is your last limerick.
On the surface, we bull sharks pretend that we're tough and alone till the end. But I hang with shark bros where the seawater flows. I get quality time with a
Friend, yes. Researchers were stunned when they discovered that bull sharks have rich social lives and make friends. They made this discovery after observing a shark take another shark to the airport. Scientists had thought that sharks lived mostly in isolation, except when, feeding on prey. They observed sharks engaged in social interactions with each other, like parallel swimming or lead-follow behavior. That's what it's called. And these bonds between the sharks remain strong unless, of course, they start a band together.
I think that these researchers were watching one shark and they thought he was by himself. And that shark's buddy swam up behind him and shared the researcher.
Really? And the researcher's last thought was, I'm glad they're friends. Bill, how did Sarah do in our quiz?
Sarah will sleep well tonight. She got all 3 right.
Congratulations, Sarah.
Thank
well
you.
done. Thank you. Take care.
All my friends.
Okay.
Sandy Beach. The summertime is on.
Because they've information and important
Blank questions as they can. Each correct answer now worth 2 points. Bill, can you give us the scores?
Paula has 2. Shane and Alonzo each had 3.
Oh, my goodness. Paula, you're in third place. You're up first. The clock will start when I begin your first question to fill in the blank. On Thursday, the UK said they were ready to join efforts to ensure safe passage through the Strait of blank.
Hormuz.
Right, Hormuz. On Monday, Hormuz. A federal judge temporarily blocked RFK Jr.'s changes to U.S. blank policy.
Vaccine.
Right. This week, the confirmation hearings for DHA Secretary blank began.
Mark Wayne Mullen.
Right, for the 9th year in a row, Finland was named the world's blankest country.
Happiest.
Right, good news for people who love the worst part of a pizza. Pizza Hut is hiring their first ever blank expert.
Crust.
Right, on Thursday, NASA said they were hoping to launch the Artemis 2 mission to the blank on April 1st. The moon, right. On Wednesday, Jesse Holmes and his pack of dogs won their second blank race in Alaska.
I did a
This week, pedestrians in Japan were shocked when they spotted blank at a construction site.
We spotted a blank at a smoking bird.
No, a mysterious... That's fine, the birds were on break, it was okay. No, they sought a mysterious 30-foot steel cylinder rising from the ground.
Oh, yes.
Residents of Osaka, Japan were baffled when in the middle of a busy road, a 30-foot metal cylinder suddenly rose from the ground, halting traffic and prompting a citywide investigation. Since then, crews have managed to get most of the cylinder back underground, which means when it comes back up, it's going to be even angrier. Bill, I think Paula did rather well.
Unbelievable. I can hardly get it out. 7 right, 14 more points. Total of 16 puts Paula in the lead.
There you are.
That's because the others haven't gone yet.
Yeah. Shane and Alonzo were tied. I'll pick Alonzo to go next. Here we go. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve said they would keep blank rates unchanged.
Interesting.
Right. On Monday, President Trump suggested that Gavin Newsom couldn't be president because he is blank.
What did he say?
Gay?
He's dyslexic?
That's right. This week, Americans were concerned when the federal government registered the new domain name blank.gov.
Trump?
No, aliens.gov. According to a new study, a diet low in blank can slow cognitive decline.
Well, obviously
Sugar?
I haven't been eating.
Yeah, exactly.
Sugar? Okay.
Peter, I don't know if you're aware that the NCAA tournament started this week.
Yeah, we've been busy.
You bugging me with all these questions.
I know, sorry. It was a diet low in salt can slow cognitive decline. On Tuesday, Venezuela beat the U.S. to win their first World Blank title.
World Baseball.
Yeah, World Baseball Classic. This week, a large bear walking into her shot interrupted an LA TV reporter's story about blank.
Bears.
Yes,
Bears?
bear attacks in the neighborhood. KTLA's Aaron Myers was reporting live from Monrovia, California, on a series of bear attacks when suddenly a bear wandered right into frame behind her as if to say, "Oh my God, are you guys talking about me?" Not only did Myers keep her cool, she also told viewers, quote, "This is the second time a bear has shown up on live TV with me, which is probably a sign she should stop filling her pockets with salmon." Bill, how did Alonzo do in our quiz?
4 right, 8 more points, total of 11, and he trails Paula with 16.
All right. So how many then does Shane need to win on his debut appearance on our show?
Only 7 to win.
Here you go, Shane. You can do this.
Oh, yeah, you got this.
Yeah.
Sure, it'll be a breeze.
Rookie luck. Here we go. This is for the game, Shane. On Wednesday, Israeli officials pushed back on Trump's claim that he did not know about a strike on an oil field in blank. Right. According to a new study, smoking blank does not ease anxiety.
Marijuana.
Right. On Thursday,
I
12th
disagree.
seed High Point beat 5th seed Wisconsin in the first upset of the blank tournament.
NAACP.
March Madness?
NCAA. On Monday,
Off to go cut down the nets?
yeah. On Monday, thousands of workers at a meatpacking plant walked off the job as part of the industry's first blank in 40 years.
Strike.
Right. This week, Florida lawmakers voted to keep it legal in that state for blanks to marry.
First cousins.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
According to new guidelines, experts suggest that people as young as 30 start taking drugs to lower blank.
Blood
Cholesterol?
Cholesterol on Sunday. Sinners and one battle after another were the big winners at the 2026 Blank
Oscars.
Awards.
Oscar.
Right. This
Oscars.
week, a passenger browsing the plush kangaroos at a Tasmanian airport was surprised to find blank.
One of them
A real
wasn't
kangaroo.
plush. Yeah.
A real kangaroo? I don't know.
Oh, so close. A real live possum. The passenger says he was delighted when he caught the possum cuddled up among the stuffed animals at the airport, and that the staff was equally excited when they caught the wild animal and got him safely out of the airport. Meanwhile, the possum was like, "Damn, I'm never going to make my flight now." Bill, Shane did well. Did he do well enough to win?
Well, he got 6 right, 12 more points, and his 15 comes 1 short of Paula. Great showing.
There you are, Paula. Good job.
Wait, didn't Alonzo
Coming up, our panelists predict
on
now
that?
that his identity has been revealed, what will the artist Banksy do next? But first, let me tell you that Wait,
bet
Don't
that
Tell Me is a
Paula would
production of
win.
NPR and WBEZ Chicago in association with Urgent Haircut Productions, Doug Berman, Benevolent Overlord. Philip Godica writes our limericks. Our public address announcer is Paul Friedman. Thanks to the staff and crew at the Studebaker Theater. BJ Liederman composed our theme. Our program is produced by Jennifer Mills, Miles Dernboss, and Lillian King. Special thanks to Blythe Robertson and Monica Hickey. If you say Peter Gwynn's name 3 times, he will appear. Peter Gwynn, Peter Gwynn, Peter Gwynn. Our vibe curator is Emma Choi. Technical direction is from Lorna White. Our CFO is Colin Miller. Our production manager is Robert Newhouse. Our senior producer is Ian Chillog. And the executive producer of Wait, Don't Tell Me is Michael Danforth. Now, panel, what will Banksy do next? Alonzo Bowden.
Start a podcast.
Why not? Shane Torres.
He'll be the next Bachelorette.
And Paula Poundstone.
He's going to offer his services to elementary school children for their visual aids in their reports.
I'm going to say he's
If
going
any
to
of that
win
happens,
Lost.
panel, we're going to ask you about it on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you so much, Bill Curtis. Thanks also to Paula Poundstone and Alonzo Bowden. A big thanks for Shane Torres for making a great debut on our show. Thanks to our fabulous audience here at the Studebaker Theater. Thanks to all of you out there, wherever you might be listening. We're grateful for you. I'm Peter Sagal. We'll see you next week in Savannah, Georgia.
Ba, ba, da, 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 da. This is NPR.
This message comes from Jerry.
I mean, no, this isn't NPR. This is Twitch. Boy. All right. Well, so the scores In a very close second place is the ASOC Prod Cat with 32 points. And I eked it out by 1 with 33. So it was a close game this week. Very close game this week. Oh, we have a video to watch.
Yes.
Oops. Hold on. Almost forgot. I have to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it. Why do you do that? Don't do that. I hate that. Okay, that'll do. We'll just have to redo that later. There's some things going on with this new, with the new update to Windows that I'm not entirely happy with at all. But is what 'tis.
Yeah.
Almost forgot. Let me share the screen.
There we go.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
I always say this with ice fishing, it's not the size of the pole.
Hey, I'm getting a call. Will you give me a second?
Oh, sure.
I'll be back in just a minute.
He's gonna be great.
Oh my God, I gotta get the out of here.
Where are you going?
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Weren't you just inside?
What happened to the phone call?
You caught me. I was just, I was gonna do the Irish goodbye, so.
Where you leave without telling anyone? No, sir, we don't do that here, okay? Let's get you back in the house so no one sees you.
You know what, I gotta be somewhere in 10 minutes though.
Well, you should have thought about that, 7 hours ago. Look at this, you didn't even finish your beer, you silly goose. If you really want to leave, you go say goodbye to Chaz, okay? He's the host, that's polite. But remember, you gotta say goodbye without actually saying goodbye.
That's what I was trying to do 2 minutes ago.
Okay, you can't do that here. Here's what you do. You sit next to him, you slap your knee, and you say, "Welp, I suppose."
Why?
We don't say why around here, okay? We just finish our beer, all right? Follow the rules. So go say goodbye to Chaz. You'll be out of here in a jet. 5, 6, 4. Killing you, Father.
Well, I suppose.
Oh, hey, can I get you another beer there, pal?
No, I'm good. I'm actually gonna be hitting the road. So.
Oh, hey, have you met Father Joshua?
Hi, Father. How are you? I love your homilies. How you doing?
Could be better.
I'm gonna hit the road, though.
The Packers, I'll tell you what.
What?
Exactly.
Hang in there. You're doing good, fella.
So you like the Packers?
I'm more of a Pats guy myself.
Oh, you're from Boston.
Yeah, there's no fooling you, Father.
Oh, you gotta try Colleen's chowder.
You mean a tuna casserole? I did. It was god-awful. I gotta go.
Oh, you gotta be shooting me.
Listen, man, I gotta get out of here. That tuna casserole was absolutely disgusting. If somebody starts making Folgers, that toilet's gonna be pulverized porcelain.
Make sure you take some leftovers.
Absolutely not. It's a chemical weapon. Hey,
leftovers. Oh no, I insist.
Fine.
Don't say it to me. Say it to her.
Fine, thank you.
Now, where did I put it?
What is she doing?
She's looking for the good Tupperware. Have a beer.
Oh, that's all right, hon. You can just wrap it in tinfoil. It's going right in the garbage anyway.
She can't hear you right now.
Oh, you were hiding on me.
It's all about the presentation.
I can taste it in my mouth.
That's the point. What do you say we go check out the hot water heater?
Why?
There she is. Installed her myself. Have a beer. Isn't this nice?
Yeah, it's a hot water heater, all right. What are these people doing over here?
Wash for deer, wash for deer.
I was playing euchre.
Is this guy gonna be all right? He's been mowing the lawn since I got here.
No, that's just John. He loves to cut the lawn. Why don't you give him a wave?
No, that's all right. I'll just say hello to him when I'm leaving.
When you're leaving, give him a wave.
You know what? I'm just gonna call the police.
What?
Call my niece. Gotta give her a call. It's her birthday.
Oh, I'll give you some privacy. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where are you going? You can't leave. You gotta give everyone a hug and shake everyone's hands and make empty promises about plans you never intend to keep. You can't just go like this. Where do you want to go? I'll give you directions. Where do you want to go?
How long have you been here?
5 years.
You live here?
No, I'm trying to say goodbye for 5 years.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
It's not just me, Father Joshua. He knew you were lying about his homilies. He hadn't been to church in 3 years.
Well, what about Colleen?
He's a newcomer, 6 months.
I gotta get out of here. Why am I moving forward right now?
The Midwest goodbye.
Why do I have a sudden urge to see Chaz's lawnmower in the garage?
Because it's awesome.
One of the new Taros?
Yeah, one of the new Toros. It's fantastic.
I gotta see this.
Come check it out.
You do this gutter work yourself?
I did do the gutter. Do you want to help me clear it?
I would love to help clear the gutters.
I got a ladder right here.
Oh my God, look at that snowmobile.
Check it out. Yeah, it's pretty slick. Hey, you want another beer?
Yeah.
Yeah, had away.
I want some more of that castle.
Oh, yeah. Castle's pretty good, ain't it?
Excellent.
God. Oh, that has so, that's, yep.
There is a lot about the job isn't.
Okay.
Like I said, you've got the one that means the Southern goodbye. That's bad enough. But I am familiar with the Midwestern goodbye too, and it is infinitely longer.
That's why I'm glad I learned to say goodbye from New Yorkers in upstate New York and just general people in like New York State, and it's deuces. You say it loud enough for everybody to hear and you just leave.
Yeah. My favorite is to find, if I cannot find the host because the host is otherwise occupied, I will find the next best person to the host, like their mother. Tell them goodbye and then book it.
The only place I say goodbye to everybody in the place before I leave is the Hidden Leaf.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say goodbye to... I used to do it at Miller's. I used to have to say goodbye to everybody at Miller's.
Yeah.
And it was because people would be offended if I didn't. And I'd see them again the next night and they'd be pissed at me for not saying goodbye. And it's like, At Hidden Leaf, it's not like that. It's just sort of... It became habit at Miller's, so it carried over to Hidden Leaf. But otherwise... I don't even necessarily say goodbye to the host. I will usually from my perspective, the host is too busy doing stuff to really care that I have gone. I will, I won't just disappear, but I will say bye loud enough for people to hear, and somebody, like, I'll probably say goodbye to somebody, but no. I'm closer to the French exit than the than the Midwest or Southern goodbye.
Fair.
Yeah, and I value my own time enough that I won't do that to somebody else's time, and I don't really like having it done to my time. Well, all right. That's been the show for today. Thank you. Thank you, Kat, for being here. Thank you for playing along. Thank you, Maddie Holmes, for that video. Thank you for being in the chat. Thank you, Shende20. Thank you, Just Me Crystal. Thank you, Darth Dragonis. Thank you, Chris in a 386. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, all you lurkers. Much love. Stick around for the raid. We will be raiding out to the Sunday No Pants raid train. Let's see who's on that right now. I think it is DJ Nightlife. Yeah, I think it's DJ Nightlife of the Sunday No Pants raid train. So stick around for that. Now is the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down. VA, double deuces. We're out, y'all.
With you. And he said, after a pause, that's what I want, honest loyalty. And I paused, desperately looking for a way to get out of this incredibly awkward conversation. I said, you'll get that from me. Knowing what I meant and believing that given the conversation that had happened since we started the meal, he understood what I meant by that. And then we were out of that particular part of the conversation.
That's one example of the times that you compare the president's behavior to the mafia. And you're familiar with the mafia because you prosecuted them when you worked in the New York office. So usually with the mafia, there's transactional relationships. You know, I'm going to give you this. I expect something in return. I expect your loyalty. But beneath all of that is a threat. Like if you don't give me your loyalty, or if in spite of all my compliments to you, you betray me in some way, something's going to happen. Did you sense that beneath this conversation there was any kind of threat?
Well, certainly not the kind of threat that La Cosa Nostra, the mafia, would make explicit or implicit. And I don't mean by comparing Donald Trump's leadership culture to that of a mafia boss to suggest he's out there breaking legs or bombing shops when people don't make their payments. And I didn't get a sense of any kind of dark threat like that. But what I mean by the comparison is they're strikingly similar in the centrality of the boss and in there being no external reference points other than the boss. Like most ethical leaders make judgments, hard judgments, by calling on some external reference points. A religious tradition, philosophy, logic, history, practice, something external to the leader. But in the mafia, and in my experience in Donald Trump's world, there are no external reference points. It's what is best for the boss. What will serve the boss best? How do we get the boss what he wants? It's all about me as the leader. And so I was very struck by it. And I tried not to reach that comparison because it seemed crazy when it first popped in my head. Really? La Cosa Nostra and the President of the United States? But it kept coming back to me because that style seemed familiar, and that's why it kept popping back into my head. So to answer your question, though, Terry, I didn't take it as a threat, any threat underneath the conversation, but I knew that I was going to be estranged to one degree or another from this president by virtue of my refusal to pledge loyalty. And honestly, that was okay with me because it kept me, as the leader of an organization that's supposed to be philosophically independent with the executive branch, at a distance from the president. It was okay with me that I was not going to